moving the primary was tantamount to voter suppression, because that currency you remove from me as a potential voter. You remove the potential that I would get to know who my representative was going to be, what their interests were, where their interest in fact really was me. So I oppose that. But be that as it may, we find ourselves having to run in May. We ain't scared of that. But it's so important that you know that it's happening. We can't allow it to creep us. So we need you to tell your friends' friends, that there is a fight going on. This mayor, our mayor, has decided that he is going to target the 2 African American females that represent you as at-large on council. That is myself and Linda Omobian. Why? I could say that I don't know, but I guess I really do know. But I thought in essence that I was actually just doing my job, being the voice of the people who elected me to represent them. And so when I saw injustice, I spoke to that. I'm all good about getting along, and I think that's important that we do that. But I tell people oftentimes, I would never purchase a washing machine if it didn't agitate, right? Because if it didn't agitate, there's no way it could do what it was built to do. We live in a city where there's a report called Elevated Akron, where for the last, at least the period that it covers, from 2005 to 2015, Black folks in this city right here have been excluded from economic development opportunities. And so I'm not talking about they didn't have access. There's a difference between not having access and exclusion. That means I didn't mean for you to be there. And so when you look in our community and you see the core of it deteriorating, if you don't think economic development got anything to do with that, I'm sorry, it does. So when you look at our community, and nationally we're represented in 44320, 44307, and 44306, talking about infant mortality, you think that don't have nothing to do with economic development? It does. When you look at our school systems or the opportunities that our Black children have in our community that seem substandard, and you think that don't have much to do with economic development opportunities in the city, it does. When you look at our elders who don't, matter of fact, it's so funny, I heard during the State of the City address, as we work really hard to make sure that our elder mothers and fathers have a voice in our community, that we understand that they are critically important to the sustaining of our community. I heard at the State of the City yesterday that we're preparing to help our elders grow old in place. There's something wrong with that picture. If you don't think economic development opportunities have much to do with that, you're sadly mistaken. And so as your representatives, as difficult as it is sometimes, because whenever you stand, you become visible to people, right? You become visible before the people and you become a target. Well, I just came by to say, you can't tell us to shut up and sit down or order us to abandon our station. We ain't scared, you see, because we give birth to nations.
You better say it.
We're not afraid.
You better say
but we need your hands. We need your help. I'm telling you, it's so important. It's cool to like people. They got great personalities. They're cute. And I know I even might fall in a couple of those categories. But I work, you see. So you need to know who's representing you. And so you just can't elect people and send them and then let them tend to business until 4 years later and go back to try and figure out what they done did. Your life all messed up by then. We have to elect people to represent our interests and hold them to account. You can't elect and then disembark. So I want to say this. The election is May 7th. We are working hard. I'm so proud of that brother in the back, Russell Neal. To be honest, he's probably one of the most kindest fellas I ever met. And he works really hard to help you try and understand. And he's not what you call combative. You know, I'm high energy sometimes. You know what I mean? But we're not afraid of working together. But again, sometimes you gotta agitate to get things done. And so I encourage you, if you ain't registered to vote, and I can't imagine there's any of you all here, get registered to vote. Tell your friends to get registered to vote. And hear me when I say it takes 10 to win. So tell 10, text 10, tweet 10, take 10. It takes 10 to win. But I'm gonna tell you this. The last day to register to vote is April the 8th. Early election starts on April the 9th. We want to win before it begins. So we need you to vote early. We need you to take friends to the polls. We need your hands to help us knock doors. And if you don't know much about us, get to know us so that you can be our voice in the community. Again, my name is Veronica Sims, and I'm honored to serve as your at-large member of Akron City Council. And I humbly ask for your support in this upcoming election. Thank you.